What's up guys, Kyle here, and today we're talking about Lincoln. So Lincoln has unveiled the 2018 Navigator. Now the Navigator of course competes with things like the Audi Q7, the Mercedes GLS, but primarily it's gunning for the Escalade, and it always has. Lincoln actually invented this segment back in 1997 and sent Cadillac running to the drawing boards to try and catch up because it was a huge success right off the bat. Unfortunately for Lincoln, Cadillac's answer to the Navigator, the Escalade, has been more successful for pretty much its entire life. For the last 8 years, the Escalade has outsold the Navigator by at least 3-1, and the last time the Navigator outsold the Cadillac was in 2000, 17 years ago. But the bling is back, and Lincoln's coming in swinging their shiniest hammer. The new Navigator is coming in with more chrome than you can shake a stick at, and really, did you expect anything less from them? Under the hood, we've got a new 450 horsepower version of Ford's 3.5 liter EcoBoost V6. This looks like the same engine that was unveiled earlier in the new Ford Raptor. And it also gets the Raptor's new 10-speed automatic transmission, which if you ask me is too many gears, but to each their own. Another feature that the Navigator carries over from other Ford products is their fancy trailer backup assist. It uses cameras all around the vehicle to watch where the trailer is, and then the car can actually steer itself. You just can use a little knob on the side to tell it, I want the trailer to go this way or that way. The car will compensate for you and steer the trailer. That's pretty neat. Now, you're not going to win any manly points for not backing up the trailer yourself, but I think it is a pretty neat feature. The design of this truck, of course, is all new, and I think it looks really good. The old Navigators were a little bit frumpy, but this one, they've completely redone it from the ground up, and I think it looks really good. I'm glad they didn't try to copy Cadillac and make this thing super angular and kind of space age looking. They've kept it a little bit more reserved, and I think that's going to go well for them. I think they need to contrast themselves and make it their own thing. If you try to copy Cadillac, not going to work. I think they've done the right thing here. Inside is also brand new. They've completely redone the whole thing, and they've stuck with their Lincoln-ness and gone a little bit retro with the dash design. It kind of reminds me of things from the 70s and 80s a little bit. Not in a bad way, though. I think they've done it very well. It reminds me of Lexus interiors, actually, with the way they've kind of layered the dashboard and put sort of different elements into it instead of just making it one monolithic piece of plastic. And most importantly, it's completely different from the Cadillac interior. For interior features, I mean, this thing's got everything. It's a luxury truck. It's probably going to be near $100,000 once you pile all the options on. It's got wireless charging, 30-way adjustable front seats, fully independent rear screens, one on each headrest for the back seats, so that your left passenger and right passenger can be watching different things. And they've also got a fancy new app that can let you unlock the car. You can start the car, and it even uses GPS so it can locate it if you can't find it in the parking lot for some reason. Another new feature is that the Lincoln logo on the front grille actually lights up with the car, and I think this is pretty neat right now. It's very cool looking, but I think in 5-10 years time it might be very, very tacky. I don't think that's going to age very well. Another feature I'm not so sure about is that the mirrors project the Lincoln logo onto the ground when you walk up to the car. Now, other manufacturers have done this, but Lincoln's has something a little bit odd about it. I'm going to read you the statement that they have on their website here. Power auto folding side mirrors project the signature Lincoln welcome mat on the ground. Now, interesting that they mention the power auto folding mirrors. Now, if you look at the pictures of this, in this picture here, the mirrors are folded when the logo is being projected on the ground. And in their other picture, the mirrors are also folded. They don't have a press picture with the logo on the ground and the mirrors folded out. Now, this is not a huge deal, but I personally find auto folding mirrors to be a little bit annoying, and I usually just leave mine out all the time. So it's kind of weird that you can only have that logo on the ground with the mirrors folded. Granted, this is kind of nitpicky, but it's something that might annoy you if you're weird like me. Another new feature is their DLP Heads Up Display. Now, DLP stands for Digital Light Projection. Lincoln claims that this makes the head-up display easier to read in a larger variant of lighting conditions, and also makes it easy to read even with polarized sunglasses. Now, the thing that worries me is that DLP technology was actually used in TVs about 10 years ago, and it only lasted a few years because it was horrifically unreliable, and they burnt out bulbs constantly. So I'm hoping that Lincoln has thought about this and actually worked through it to make sure those bulbs aren't burning out all the time, because I don't even want to know what a heads-up display bulb costs, let alone how much it'll cost to install. And the last feature I want to look at is the new headlights on this truck. The headlights are LED based with speed sensitive projection. So what this does is when you're driving slowly, it creates a wide swath of light so you can sort of see into the ditches and see everything around you. And then as you speed up, the light projection narrows to give you a more focused beam, gives you more light further down the road so you can see what's coming up. As far as I know, that's a new feature to the industry that nobody else has. So that's pretty cool. The big question here is this truck good enough to beat the Escalade? And I think maybe. It depends on how the market receives it. I think it looks like a very good quality truck. They've got the right engine, they've got the new transmission, they've got all the technology. It looks really good, so they're set up to win. The thing is, everybody's stuck on those Escalades. It's going to be interesting to see if they can pry people away from their beloved Cadillacs. The only thing I could see holding them back is build quality. The interior build quality of the older Lincolns was really not that great. I always thought the materials were kind of cheap for that level of vehicle. That being said, I haven't seen this truck in person, so we'll wait until I actually get my fingers on it before I make any hard comments about that. One thing that might actually work in its favor is that Cadillac has been on top for so long, people might want to buy the Navigator just because it's something different. Now that this new truck is actually a serious contender for the Escalade, I could see people switching sides just to see how the grass tastes on the other side of the fence. That's it for today. Like and subscribe for more. Check me out on Instagram, and I'll see you next time.